Hello, it's me, GrandGateGuardian, who I am. Yes, I am the same person as Colin Ford and Boom Boy, but I've made this Yugioh account for a certain reason because I am a very good player at this game, and I just want to give you a little heads up on how to make some incredibly useful decks. But first of all, if you want to make a really good deck, don't expect it to be a real quick thing to do. This tutorial is going to have several parts, but this is going to be the key rules to making a good deck. The first thing you need to know is that if you're going to make a good deck that can save you a lot, you're going to want to put a variety of cards that can save you from several things, such as you might want Doppelganger in your deck, and for another thing, you might want a card that inflicts damage to your opponent, and cards that stop you from discarding cards, in case your opponent has cards like Magical Thorn, which causes you to take lots of damage when you discard cards. Let's just say this. It's all about having a variety of cards that can save you from whatever your opponent will throw at you. For example, your opponent might have a card, Magical Thorn, and a card that makes you discard cards like Needlebug Nest with some other cards, I don't know what, but makes you discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If they have Magical Thorn, that will inflict a ton of damage to you. You're gonna want something that can stop them from stop you from having to discard those cards, such as Gemini Imp. And another thing you might want is something that that'll stop you from having to try to stop your opponent from summoning these really strong monsters and activating these really useful spell and trap cards that may ruin your entire game. And that can be useful for Solemn Judgment, which is great, although you have to pay half your life points. You can actually use the effect twice for just one cost of life points using the Life Absorbing machine. But it can stop you from having to deal with cards such as Bionic, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, which would cause you to that would let your opponent discard cards from their hand to make all your monsters return to your hand. And it's a very Solemn Judgment by itself is a very useful card. I say it should just be put in any deck that you think is going to save you, that you think it might be helpful, because it can stop anything. It can stop the activation of spell and trap cards, normal summon, flip summon, special summon. And special summon, it also includes ritual summon and synchro summon, including fusion summon. It can stop your opponent from doing anything. With Life Absorbing Machine, you can put 3 in your deck. You only have to pay you only have to pay 3/4 of your life points with that. And then if you have life cards that can increase your life points, it's incredibly useful. Now, I'm not the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh expert you'll probably ever see, but I'm probably the biggest one you'll ever see at a young age. And I have a small heads up for you. Don't watch this tutorial unless either you have a lot of money, or places that sell cheap and good Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or you have a large collection. If you don't have any of that, then I suggest you do not watch this tutorial. And if you eventually do get that, then come back to this tutorial. Might as well try to bookmark it. But the key factors in a deck is to always mix up the cards, combine them with spell and trap cards. Personally, I think that synchro summons, the synchro monsters aren't usually the best cards. Sometimes fusion is the best way to do it. You can have fusion or synchro. I don't think you can have both, but pick whatever one you have the most good card with. Fusion Recovery is a great card with fusion, and Desynchron. Oh, I keep messing up the way I pronounce that, sorry. But that card, it can bring back your monsters in case the Synchron monster gets it all messed up. And Synchrons also bring a meaning to tuners. I just slightly figured out that I noticed some of the Synchron monsters, you only need a tuner and a non-tuner monster, or two non-tuner monsters that just have its level. So you only have tribute monsters that have its level, which I think I should have noticed that earlier. But there are a couple bad cards for Synchros, just in case you think about it. Descending Lost Star. Yeah, I know the camera will show it in reverse, but you can look it up on Yugioh Wiki. It's supposed to allow you to select one Synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it in face-up defense position. Yeah, it's good, but then its effect is negated, its defense level is reduced by 1, its defense becomes 0, as well as its battle position cannot be changed. The only way that would be useful is if you used it for a tribute summon, or else it's just a total waste, unless you're in desperate need of blocking your opponent's attacks and you don't have any traps. Now, this may seem a little bit strange, but I have to admit, even Horsey Tail can be a little bit more useful than that. Sure, when it's destroyed, it summons a token to your opponent's side of the field, and you need a plant monster to destroy it to make your opponent discard 1 card. But if you have Magical Thorn, and even 2 Magical Thorns, just discard 1 card with 2 Magical Thorns inflicts 1,000 points of direct damage to your opponent. Magical Thorn is great for the cards that make your opponent discard cards. Any card that makes your opponent discard cards is good with Magical Thorn. Magical Thorn is great for burn decks and just about any other deck you think. But that'll be it for today, because I know it's over 7 minutes now, but just tune in for next time, because I'll be have plenty of other parts to this, so you can get even more information on making a good deck. Bye. Subscribe for next part. And rate if you thought this was useful at all. Comment. I mean, I really need some subscribers. I need some help. Some recent subscribers give me some ideas, and they can help me buy new Yu-Gi-Oh cards to help you. If I become a partner, that is. Which I probably won't, but no need to actually subscribe unless you want to learn a lot more stuff. And it'll stop at 8 minutes.